My name is Aurelia George Hobson. I am from St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. I live here in Chesapeake, Virginia, and I am an estimator for the marine industry here in Norfolk, Virginia. We are a U.S. territory, so I've been American, so I'm a U.S. citizen. But what brought me here to Chesapeake or here to Virginia is school, just continuing education. I mean, we do have one of the only HBCUs outside of the United States mainland. The University of the Virgin Islands is a HBCU. A lot of people don't know that. There are two campuses, one in St. Croix and one in St. Thomas. And they didn't have the major I was looking for. So I went up here and I studied design technology. I come from middle class society, went to some of the best schools, private schools. Both my parents are entrepreneurs, owned their own business, had a restaurant. My father was a captain in the police department down in St. Croix, and my mom, she was an executive admin, college graduate. So it's still island life, and still enjoy the beaches, still enjoy family. I still enjoy seafood and things like that. But I wish I learned like makajumbi, stilt walking. Like I wish I learned to do that, or steel pan playing. I wish I learned to do that. What I brought with me was mostly cooking. A lot of the foods we eat, I definitely still cook at home. I have, books, cookbooks, and things like that I have native recipes. And you'd be surprised, like, how much recipes that we have. This book in particular actually captures some of the Ghanaian food that we eat, because a lot of people have backgrounds from in the Caribbean, well, from St. Croix, from Ghana. It's amazing, like when you see where the diaspora has brought so many of us here. Even with my mom, my mother did a DNA test and she found out she has people from Mogadishu and Ethiopia. So it's like, oh wow, I'd probably be still carrying on what my parents did with the business down there. I mean, we still own the property. It's something that's been carried on traditionally. My mother is from Nevis, so she's got a British education. So of course, there's always the option to go to England. So I can always go someplace else because I have dual citizenship because of my mother. I've always lived the American lifestyle because we are a U.S. territory. So, I mean, the only thing that's different or drastically different is the beach. When I first came up here, I was like, why is the water so brown? That is not a beach. Where are the fruit trees? Where are the animals? I would say this. The biggest culture shock for me when I came up here was probably the food. I came up here and I came up with a big group of kids from the Virgin Islands, and all of us, we went to Norfolk State. So we kind of just had each other. So for someone who doesn't have somebody here, I would definitely say to try and find resources, food, family. Of course, the beach. Oh my God, the beach. Like you get a greater appreciation for the things that you took for granted back then. I didn't leave anyone because I always go back home. I try to go back home every year. My sister, she had moved here when she was 21, and she ended up coming up here for school. And then she had bought a house here. So when she bought the house here and I came up for college, definitely, like I said, I had family. I had somebody here to help. And like I said, I came up here with a group of people from St. Croix or from the Virgin Islands, and we all had the same, aspirations, same aspects. We all had that similarity, so we all kind of relied on each other. St. Croix itself was under 7 flags before they were even owned by the United States. So we were owned by the French, we were owned by the Knights of Malta, we were Spain, you name it. We had 7 flags. And St. Croix also had the fire bun, which is where the slaves burnt from the east end of the island all the way down to the west end of the island. just for their freedom. And every year we celebrate that, the freedom of slavery, just want to get just breaking from that bondage. I mean, they burnt the entire island down for their freedom. They know they came from Africa, they were free people, and then they came here in slavery, and they're like, no, we're not doing this. And that takes it back to Haiti too, when they had the rebellion. So, and I just think in every Caribbean island there was some kind of mutiny because they knew this was not the standard of life for them. There is so much history that is rich in the Caribbean. I mean, a lot, like in St. Croix, we have our own music called Quelve. It was invented on St. Croix. We have notable residents, Joe Biden, President of the United States. But one person that you definitely need to keep an eye on from St. Croix, Stacey Plaskett. She represents the United States Virgin Islands district for the House of Representatives. And Stacey, she is also currently serves as the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee and the House Committee of Agriculture.